how did Tennessee Lee get to the WWF? How did he arrive? I have my family, his grandfather, Roy Welch, was Nick Goulas, but Roy was one of my father's mentors. And look, so that's Robert's grandfather. His father, Buddy, and my dad were business partners, and Jimmy Golden is his first cousin. And me and Robert, my first big angle in Memphis is when he came out with a baseball bat, broke my arm. We worked together off and on for a long time, and then he switched babyface and became my partner, and we had a good run. So Robert was Akio Sato kind of taught me the basics of as far as training, but as far as a guy that like Lawler obviously helped me from day one. Lance Russell helped me a lot, but Robert Fuller, as far as kind of crafting stories and promos and what do you got, Jeff? And when I had to do a promo with him, he would say, hey, Jeff, why don't you start? Okay, of course I'm going to start because he's much, much better talker. But Robert would, he say, all right, what do you want to say? And I'd kind of think through it, and he would give me suggestions like, well, why don't you maybe say this or that and maybe craft it here? And why don't you hand it off to me? Robert kind of taught me an ebb and flow of promos that, I mean, he's, to me, one of the greatest talkers of all time. Now, you're not going to see it in the Tennessee Lee. You're not going to see it, obviously, in WCW and Colonel Parker. It's just a different time. You go back to the territory days when the promos are literally what drew the money, and you had to tell a story, and you had to give the right promo to sell the right tickets. Robert could do it as a heel and as a babyface, and his older brother Ron could as well. But kind of that art of the promo, days gone by, I'm not saying we go back. There's a lot to that this day and age that I think if you take and modernize some of that art and some of that craft and used how they sold tickets by talking them in from Terry Funk or Austin Idol or Jerry Lawler or Dusty Rhodes. I mean, we could go to any of the territory stars that kind of modernize it. And then you kind of look at Mick and some different promos, and certainly a Cena, but just the great promo guys. And I think there's a difference between a great promo and a money-making, ticket-selling promo. But anyhow, Robert was one of those guys back in the day. He helped me tremendously.